Yeah, you can go ahead.
Welcome everybody to Light and Soul Meditation Group. Namaste. So today we are going to continue Swadhyaya on the book The Soul's Plan. As we all know, this book is written by Robert Schwartz. On previous days, I know Madhuji did tell us a little bit about Robert Schwartz. How did the author come to write this book, Your Soul's Plan, right? So today we are going to continue first chapter. So our author is telling that as you read these stories, it is helpful to bear in mind the limitations of the language in discussing some of these concepts. For example, the author is saying that he will sometimes refer to people coming from the spiritual realm when they are incarnating and returning to the spiritual realm when we are dying or going back to the spirit world. So these words and other words used in this book, they are intended to indicate a change in perception, not the place. This statement is very powerful. If we all look at this statement for a second, is that the words incarnation and the word death, these two words just means the change in perception. These words do not mean change in place. So when I read this paragraph, the way I understood this statement is when we are taking birth or when we are dying, only our perception towards reality changes. We are not going anywhere. The place is not getting changed. It's our vibration, our frequency is changing. And that is what the author is trying to say. So these words are not meant to suggest separation between dimensions. Incarnation does not literally remove us from our eternal home. This is a beautiful way of saying that when we come to earth, when we take birth as a human being on the earth, we are still connected to our home, which is the spirit world. What does it mean? I'm sure you all have been connected to Madhuji and learning a lot of spiritual science. So you all know that even when we are taking birth as a human being, our higher self, so some part of our soul, a major part of our soul, is still staying in the spirit world. And only the small part of our soul incarnates as a human being. And while I'm living my life as a human being, my current soul, the small part that's within my body, is constantly communicating with my higher self, which is in the spirit world. And that's how we are getting constant guidance from the spirit world. So even if we are here on the earth as a human being, we are still connected to our home. That's what the author is trying to say. So then the author is saying that death is the dissolution of the veil that screened the non-physical realm from us. So the author is explaining us what is death. Death means when we take birth as a human being, there is this curtain, there is this veil, which makes it impossible for us to perceive the other reality, to see the non-physical. But when we die, when somebody leaves the physical body, that curtain, the veil, it dissolves. And that's when our vision expands to see the bigger reality. When we are in the spirit form, when we leave the human body, we are able to see, feel, understand physical reality and non-physical reality. So then the author is saying the concepts of oneness and separation are important in order to understand fully why we choose to experience life challenges. So let's understand the word oneness here. This is a very important word. Doesn't matter whether somebody is on the spiritual path or if they don't know the ABCs of spirituality. Each and every soul's ultimate goal is oneness. The way I would like to define oneness is feeling one, not just with other human beings, but also with plants, with animals, with mineral kingdom. Anything and everything that is existing on the earth. We should feel that we are all one. That's a true feeling of oneness, right? So, for example, we all know that if I'm traveling to some country and I don't know the language there, if there is a stranger who is smiling at me, I will know that that person is sharing the feeling of love with me. Smile is a universal language, right? And same way, if somebody's expressions are showing me that they are not happy with me, they don't like my presence there, without language, I will be able to understand that these are the emotions of non-acceptance, right? So oneness means regardless of ethnicity, religion, upbringing, gender, all of us, the blood is red. We all feel pain in similar manner. Whenever anybody cries, the tears come out in similar manner, right? So the entire universe, the reality is into oneness. We are all connected to one another. When we are in spirit, we have continuous awareness of our inseparable link with all the other beings. So when we are not on the earth, we are in the spirit world, we always remember that everybody is one and everything is one. But the moment we take birth as a human being, there is a reason why God makes us forget that, because we need to consciously remember and learn the concept of oneness. Unified compassion and empathy are our very nature. So whenever we are in the spirit world, we are into unified compassion and empathy. Although we have individual identities, we do not perceive that we are separate from other individuals. That much oneness we are in when we are in the spirit world. This fundamental concept is paradoxical to the human brain. Yeah, so for us human beings, this concept that, oh, I am my child and my child is me, how is that possible? This person is separate than me. That's how we human beings perceive reality, right? We can never imagine that, okay, I'm my boss and my boss is me. So for human beings, it's kind of challenging to understand this paradoxical concept, but it is reality. And as we will grow on our spiritual journey, we are going to feel that oneness with everybody, each and every individual. We intentionally restrict our focus to that of the body and thereby blocking our perception of oneness. That we are capable of narrowing our perceptual range allows us to plan lives in which we play pre-scripted roles and thus provide challenges for one another. We hope that we'll respond to these challenges with love. So the reason when we incarnate as a human being, we forget that we are all one is because we need to grow and learn from our experiences. How are we going to learn and grow from our experiences? For example, if one of my family member is giving me a hard time, right? We plan challenges in our life. How do we plan challenges? If we think anybody and everybody is me, then we won't be able to plan that story. Whenever the director is writing the script of the movie, one need to be able to understand that this person is a hero and this person is a villain. If the director will give the same role to the hero and villain, how's the story going to move on? Right? So similarly, we as human beings forget the concept of oneness because we are scripting the challenges of our human life before we incarnate to learn from those challenges. And the ultimate goal of these challenges is we are hoping that we will respond to these challenges with love. That is the ultimate goal. If we are able to do so after the physical lifetime, we'll return to the spirit with a deepened understanding of compassion, empathy, and oneness that we temporarily screened from our own awareness. So, right now, in this human form, in this reality on the earth, while I am experiencing challenges, if I am still going to continue to love that person, understand the reality of that person, why I created that challenge, what am I learning from this? If I'll be able to maintain care and compassion towards others, then whenever I will transition to the spirit world, I will have higher understanding of compassion, empathy, and oneness. Right? So, as the stories indicate, we plan life challenges to accomplish certain goals. One common objective is healing, specifically, the healing of negative energies left unresolved from past lifetimes. This is a very important sentence for all of us to remember and understand. Why do we plan challenges in our life? Whatever kind of challenges they are, whether they are physical, health issues, relationship issues, financial issues, doesn't matter what kind of challenge it is. The reason we plan challenges are to accomplish certain goals. What kind of goals? The common objective is healing, specifically the healing of negative energies which are left unresolved from the past incarnations. So, as we all know, that we human beings incarnate multiple times, hundreds and thousands of times, right? So, from our previous incarnations, there are certain issues which are unresolved with the other souls, which has caused emotional distress, which stays with our soul, even if we leave our body. And these requires healing. So for the healing purposes in this current life, we are planning certain life challenges. Let's say, for example, that a person was consumed by fear during one incarnation. At the conclusion of that lifetime, the individual may carry traces of the energy of fear. This is particularly true if the person died while experiencing great fear. The low frequency energy of fear cannot be carried fully into the high frequency, non physical realm where the soul resides. Yet the energetic residue may still cross over. In this big sentence, all the author is trying to say is if in my past incarnation, if the person had fear of some sort, and especially they died with the experience of fear, even when the soul transitions to the spirit world, not 100% fear energy, but somewhat traces of fear will still go with them in the spirit world. So when I will take a new birth, that trace of fear will come back with me. So I need to heal. My soul needs healing to come out of that fear. The individual feels this lingering energy and is motivated to plan a new life in which it will be healed through the expression of love. So, what is the opposite of fear? The opposite of fear is love. That is why the author is saying that in this new life, I'm going to design my life where I'm going to be able to heal the fear with love. We also plan challenges to balance karma, right? So we all know that there are multiple reasons why we take incarnation as a human being. The first reason is to gain experiences. The second reason is to neutralize or balance karmas. The third reason is for our spiritual evolution, for our soul evolution, right? The fourth reason why we take birth as a human being could be for service, that we want to serve humanity. So, in this paragraph, the author is emphasizing that we plan challenges to balance karma. Karma is sometimes conceptualized as cosmic debt, but it may also be described as unbalanced energy with another individual. Typically, we have karma with members of our soul group. I'm sure most of you have heard the concept of soul group. So in the universe, there's no set number, but certain number of souls. They are similar frequency souls, and they travel together, which means they take births together. So they switch roles. You know, last birth somebody was my husband, this time that person is my child. Last time somebody was my boss, this time that person is my neighbor. So the same soul group souls, they switch roles and they help each other out in soul evolution process. So our author is saying that whenever we have the unbalanced energy with another individual in our soul group, that's when we take incarnation with certain life challenges to neutralize that karma. In those past lives, we have played the roles of husband, wife, daughter, son, brother, sister, mother, father, beloved friend, and mortal enemy to same souls. So the author is saying this is a beautiful thing that author is sharing right now. That author is recalling the true story of a father who was reading a bedtime story to his young child, a young daughter, and that daughter, after he was finished telling the story, the daughter tells the father, she's like, Daddy, I remember when you were my child and I was your mommy, and I was reading you bedtime stories. So this is reality, that regardless of what the relationships you are sharing right now, there are many other different relationships we have shared in previous incarnations with the same souls. One soul in the group may, for example, have had an incarnation in which many years were spent taking care of someone who was physically ill. If the soul who played the role of caretaker then plans a life with a challenge of illness in it, the soul who received the caretaking may seek to balance the energetic exchange by offering caretaking, which means, for example, in my past incarnation, like I was married to somebody. This is an example. Like, for example, in my past incarnation, I was married to somebody. And when we got married, that person was physically fit and fine. But after 5 years of our marriage, that person got some illness. They got physically ill. Well, they were completely dependent on me for each and every daily activity. So I took care of them for 25 plus years, for example. So whenever that person returns to the spirit world and I return to the spirit world, we meet in the spirit world and we discuss about this situation. And now that person is asking me that I want to return you a favor. I want to neutralize this karma. So let's switch roles. You are going to be born as a child in my house with some sort of disability. And I will be the loving mother taking care of you 100%. So that's how we are neutralizing the imbalanced energies. And that's how the soul switch roles. In body, however, neither soul will remember the plan, right? So in this birth, if I have to take care of my mother or my child or somebody who's actually ill, and if it's like a long journey, if that illness that we know is going to last for years, then we get emotionally exhausted and we start complaining. This is too much for me. I cannot do it. Why do I have this situation in my life? How much longer? Right? Because as a human being, I won't remember that this is something I have planned. I asked that soul for the favor because I wanted to neutralize the karma. Right? So in human body, we are not remembering that these are the things pre-planned. The one who chose to be the caretaker may feel burdened by the need to care for the another person, perhaps even viewing it as punishment for misdeeds in the past life. Some people would think that, oh, because I have to take care of somebody for all these years, this is maybe my own past life bad karmas which I'm repaying. So that's a wrong way to look at the situation. That's a negative way to look at the situation, right? In a positive manner, we all can think of situation as we are not doing a favor to somebody. In fact, that soul is doing a favor to my soul because I'm learning. My soul is growing. I'm learning patience. I'm learning compassion. I'm learning care. I'm learning unconditional love. There are so many qualities which I am learning, right? So we should look at such situation as in a positive manner, not in a complain mode. So in truth, there is no punishment, simply a desire to balance karma. Similarly, because we have scripted the roles we play, we are not victims. So never think of yourself as a victim when you are stuck in such situations. No one is to blame. In fact, there is no blame. So, before I'm going to share my personal experience that before I came into meditation, before I started learning spiritual science, when I read this book, when I learned about the concept of pre birth planning and your soul's plan, which means that we plan our own lives, that was a brand new concept for me. Because, usually most people, like our upbringing is, we are always like, if anything happens in life, then we are like, oh, why did God do this? We always look at the sky and complain to God that how can God be like this? How come God is not thinking about all the human beings? How come somebody is having this life challenge? So I was always thinking that somebody exterior, like a bigger power, supreme intelligence, is the one designing my life. That was my understanding. But after I read this book and I learned the concept of spiritual science, and especially pre-birth planning. Now, my way of looking at each and every situation, a person who are not in favor of me, has changed. Now I'm thinking that, oh, I have given that role to that person. I have directed the movie of my life. And being a director, I have selected each and every character of my movie. So whether that character is playing a good role, like a positive role, or a challenging role, all those roles are given by me. I asked them for a favor. Can you play this role of villain in my life? So, this book is teaching us the true perspective of human life, that we have designed our own lives. The universe does not punish us by making bad things happen. Like gravity, karma is a neutral, impersonal law by which the world operates. If we stumble and fall, we do not blame gravity or feel victimized or punished by it, right? When we realize that karma works in the same way, feelings of blame, victimization, and punishment in regard to life challenges dissipate. In their place, we may find an understanding of what we had hoped to learn and abiding appreciation of the challenges that expand our souls. Literally, now, if there is a situation in life where somebody, like we are all living in family, in society. So sometimes, somebody is not listening to you, things are not going the way you want, life is not going the way you want. So now my perspective towards life has changed. If things are not going in my favor, what's the lesson here? What do I need to learn? And trust me, once you will learn from that situation, the situation will resolve. Try this. Next time you come across a challenging situation, challenging person, difficult question in life, think as a soul. What's the lesson here? What do I need to learn? I want to grow from this situation. Once you will decide to learn and grow from that situation, the universe will say, you don't need this situation anymore because you learned the lesson. So the situation will resolve. An understanding of karma helps us to move beyond judgment, particularly in regard to those who have experienced major traumas or setbacks like drug addiction or homelessness. Usually, these individuals are living their incarnations and balancing past life energies just as they had planned. So, when we are talking about understanding of karma, is going to help us move away from judgment. So, we all human beings, when we look at somebody who's drinking or smoking or doing something that's not appropriate for society, like within seconds, we start judging that person. But if we know the bigger picture, that this soul has designed this experience for either their own growth or to neutralize some karmas which they have pending from past incarnations. So, this statement is actually reminding me of these two-liner stories that I read in maybe one of these books. Is there were two sisters. This is a real story, real, I wouldn't call it story, but like a real situation happened in somebody's life. So, two sisters living in United States. They were in their, mid 40s, and they had one brother, and he was an alcoholic. And both of these sisters, they had tremendous annoyance and hatred towards the brother because they tried very hard. They tried many methods to explain him that this is not right for you. You are wasting your life, and your life is affecting everybody around you. They tried everything, but nothing worked out. So these two sisters, they actually learned about meditation and spiritual science. So they learned about soul science. So they go to somebody like a psychic reader who had a capacity to do soul scanning. So when these two sisters goes to the psychic reader, they talk about their brother, that this is the biggest question in our life. We are super upset about our brother. He is not listening to us. We don't know what to do with him. So the psychic reader reads, understands the situation, does the reading, and then they says, your brother, looking at the souls of all three of you, scanning the soul energy, your brother is a much evolved soul compared to two of you. The reason he chose to become alcoholic in this life is to teach you both unconditional love and acceptance. You are going to guide your family members. You are going to guide your friends if they are going in the wrong direction, doing something bad. We can guide them. We can try to teach them. But ultimately, it's the journey of that soul. So we need to accept everybody as they are without any judgments. We need to express unconditional love towards them. So actually, the brother wasted his life to teach lesson to both sisters so that they can evolve, their soul can evolve and learn non-judgmental nature. So now both sisters had like tears in their eyes that, oh my God, he's such an evolved soul just playing this role to teach us something. Now they developed unconditional love and compassion towards their brother. So this is how soul science and spiritual science works. We don't even know what kind of soul contracts we had with the individuals we are coming in contact with in this human life. So yes, definitely we can help somebody, guide somebody, but unconditional love and non-judgmental nature has to be a part of our soul and our human personality. That is the true evolution. Usually these individuals are living their incarnations and balancing past life energies, just as they had planned. Their lives, sometimes labeled failures from the viewpoint of the personality, are often unqualified successes from the viewpoint of the soul. So see the example that I gave, the brother's life from the sister's perspective or from anybody, any human being's perspective, his life is going to look like a failure. Everybody will think like he has wasted his life, right? But actually, as our author is saying, this brother is often, such souls are often having unqualified successes from the viewpoints of the soul. So the soul itself is succeeding in their mission, right? Most souls plan life challenges to be of service to others. This desire is a fundamental aspect of our true nature as eternal souls. When we are in spirit and aware of our oneness with one another, we view service as a basic purpose of life and see opportunities to serve as wondrous blessings. Like souls who are balancing karma, many of those who appear to be struggling with life are actually performing acts of service. A soul may plan, for instance, to experience alcoholism so that others may express and thus know themselves more profoundly as compassion. So, anytime we see somebody with addiction issues, we need to have compassion towards them. Some of the society's harshest judgments are meted out to alcoholics and others who gift us with the very experience we sought. If only more people knew this. A light worker is someone whose life plan is particularly service oriented. Broadly, the term applies to anyone who is committed to helping others. Though one does not have to plan great challenges to be a light worker, many light workers have done just that with an intent to surmounting those challenges for the benefit of society as a whole. So, here we are talking about who is considered a light worker. So, a person who is incarnating on Mother Earth to help the humanity, they are considered light workers. This type of life blueprint is no better than any other. Indeed, given the large number of incarnations each of us plans, many will play this role at some point. Isn't this beautiful to know that each and every one of us will always plan an incarnation where we are playing a role of a light worker? Naturally, we plan life challenges as part of our own personal growth. As souls, we learn a great deal between incarnations, but the lessons become more deeply instilled in us when we contributize them on the physical plane. Learning while in spirit is similar to classroom work. So, for example, if we take a subject of science like physics or chemistry, there are so many things which we are learning as a theory in the classroom. But then we go to the laboratory to perform the experiments. And through the experiments, we actually learn much deeper understanding of that same concept. So, similarly, if we are learning the concepts in the spirit world, that is like a classroom work. But when we come on the earth and experience all these challenges and good experiences, that is the true learning that our soul gains. Ultimately, regardless of the specific challenges they contained, every life blueprint I examined was based on love. So the author is saying, regardless of what kind of life challenge somebody had planned, the base of each and every challenge was love. Each soul was motivated by a desire to give and receive love freely and unconditionally. Even in those instances when the soul had agreed to play a negative role to stimulate another soul's growth. So, as I said earlier, even if somebody is playing a negative role in the story of your life, they are actually stimulating your soul's growth. So, they are doing a favor to you. Many souls were also motivated by a desire to remember self love. So, we all need to love ourselves first, then we are able to love others. Literally, we are love. We are made up of love. Each and every cell of our body is made up of love. I base this statement not only on my research, but also on direct personal experience. The revelation of my soul described in the preface. Life challenges give us the opportunity to express and thus know ourselves more deeply as love. Love in us and love in many facets: empathy, forgiveness, patience, non judgment, courage, balance, acceptance, and trust. Our earthly experience of ourselves as love may also take the form of understanding, serenity, faith, willingness, gratitude, and humility, among other virtues. Love is the primary theme of pre birth planning, and therefore the primary theme of this book. As we enter the physical plane, we are love temporarily hidden from itself. So, this is a beautiful way of our author saying that we are love, we are made up of love, the ultimate goal of the soul is love. But right now, when we are in the physical plane, our love is hidden from us temporarily, right? When we remember who we really are, our inner light, our love, shines forth for all to see. And that, I believe, is why we are here. So the author is concluding the first chapter by telling us the whole reason why we are all here is for love. And love is the ultimate goal. Okay, so now we all can meditate together. And then after the meditation, we can take any questions that you all have. Give me one moment.
Niji, do you want me to play the music?
I'm playing it right now. Okay, so let us all take the position of meditation. If anybody is wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Let's cross our legs, lock our fingers, close our eyes. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose, holding for 10 seconds, and exhale. One more deep breath. Exhale. One more time. Inhaling through the nose, holding for a few seconds, and exhale. Now let's be with our normal, natural breath. Visualize golden bright light on top of your head. Radiating the golden rays into each and every cell of your body. As the golden rays are entering the cells, it's relaxing each and every every cell of your body. I feel one with the entire universe. I radiate unconditional love to each and every being. I accept everybody as they are. Be with our normal, natural breath. Non-judgmental towards human beings. I love and accept myself the way I am. I have planned my own life before this incarnation. I am grateful for those human beings who's given me challenges in this life, as they have helped me evolve and grow. I am a spiritual being having human experience. Life is a beautiful journey, full of experiences and challenges. I am love and I radiate love. Today I am taking responsibility of all the life challenges as they are designed for my good. I am an eternal being. I am grateful to my spirit guides for helping me design this life. I always stay alert to receive guidance from my spirit guides. I am grateful to the author for writing this book and teaching me to take ownership of my life. grateful to BSSM for teaching Anapansati meditation. I am grateful to each and every one of you for sharing your energies. That's helping us feel a deep meditative state. I am grateful to Mother Earth for this beautiful human experience. I am grateful to Light and Soul Meditation Group for this group meditation Swadhyaya experience. Let's unlock our fingers and put our hands on our eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now open your eyes with a bright smile on your face. Thank you all for sharing beautiful, beautiful energies. It was a deep meditation. Thank you. Me and Madhuji are available for any questions that you all might have.
Thank you so much, Chandani. It was really a very deep, deep meditation. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have Pushpaji with us who would like to ask. So,
Yeah.
I'm not opening my video masters, but please go ahead. Pushpaji, please.
You may unmute Pushpaji.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. Atmavandana to everybody, and thank you very much, Chandni ji. Very nice meditation, very nice explanation. But I was just curious to know about the example you gave, 2 sisters and 1 brother, where brother dedicated his life just to give one lesson to sisters. In this case, sisters were lucky enough to go to psychic reader and find out the solution. But usually in the life, it doesn't happen. So that means that that brother or whoever, one person sacrificed the life for nothing. Am I true?
Okay, so that is a human way to look at it, right? So as a human beings, what you said is right. As a human being, one is going to think that, oh, the brother wasted his life, right? But
Yes.
when in the spirit world, we are thinking as souls. So even if the sisters are not going to learn the lesson, because the brother has sacrificed his life, his soul is going to evolve to the next level. So he is still going to get the benefit of what the role he played.
He played, okay.
Regardless of whether the sisters are going to learn the lesson, his soul is going to evolve to the next level because of the selfless work that he did in that lifetime.
He did. I got it. Yes.
So it's never a waste.
Yes.
Not a single second of human incarnation is a waste.
But brother, I understand that. But the sisters, they just got no benefits if they never learn, right? Their
If they
souls
never
never learn.
learned,
Yes.
you are right. If they don't learn in this incarnation, in next incarnation, they will have somebody. This time it was a brother, right?
Yes.
In next incarnation, they might have their own son who is drunk, which they will have to
True.
accept that person. So when
Got
it's your
it.
siblings or in-laws or somebody further extended relative, then you are like, oh, she is like this, he is like that. But when it's your own family, your husband, your kids, you kind of try
Yes.
to accept them, you know?
That's it. Yes.
So if they won't learn in this incarnation through the brother, next time there will be some other person who's going to give them a lesson, but they have to learn either this incarnation or the future one. But one day
Thank
they
you
have
so
to
much.
learn.
Thank you so much. That
No
explains the whole
problem.
thing.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no problem. Okay, we have Raniji. Yes. Namaste, Raniji.
Namaste, Chandani. Thank you again for the wonderful explanation and very, very nice meditation. So I have a similar question like Pushpaji had. When you were reading, you said something about, a spouse is taking care of the other spouse for like 20, 25 years. And then in the next life, the other one comes and, vice versa. So when the next life, to pay back and to learn the hardship. During that process, what if somebody, like you also said, I don't remember what was the explanation, but you said that some people may think at that point that why me, and this is my life is all
Like
ruined,
it's a
and
burden and it's a punishment and
it's a burden, it's a punishment. So when one feels that, which is quite normal, I mean, I can talk about myself. I don't know about elevated souls, but so at that point, their evolution stops. What happens, or how do they get back on track?
right. So in this situation, if somebody is thinking of that person as a burden or something, their evolution doesn't stop, but they, instead of evolving, they are degrading themselves. Because in the spirit world, we all know that we are souls. We are supposed to cooperate and help each other out. But as a human personality, when we forget such things, the quality that we already had, we are losing that quality of care and compassion and acceptance and giving nature. So I can give you my own personal example. So I have learned the spiritual science for last 1.5 years. I came into meditation in 2022. And exactly in 2022, my father-in-law got super sick. Super sick means critically ill. Like he was in the hospital, I would say 1.5 years. And I was the primary person to handle almost everything, like the phone calls, appointments, taking to the emergency room. He had COVID and I was with him in the same room, even though I knew he had COVID. The only reason I was able to take care of him is because I knew this, I had this knowledge that maybe in past incarnation, he has taken care of me. Otherwise, why would he has 3 kids? Why would I be the primary person to take care of everything? And that's why every time I had to do something for him, I'm like, oh, I'm returning a favor because he did a favor to me already. So this is an opportunity for me to neutralize that karma. But if somebody doesn't have that knowledge and they are looking at that situation as a complaint, then it's the reply is going to be the same that I gave to Pushpaji, that in next incarnation, instead of a father-in-law, it's going to be either your husband or a son or a mother, like a more near relative, where you will accept the situation and you love your mom so much that regardless of how much you have to do for her, you are going to do with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So whenever the situation comes, like right now that we are all into spiritual science and we know soul science, now we know the right concept that we need to think of each and every situation as an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, one more thing, Chandni ji, I would like to share here is that soul always goes through this process of soul progression, the law of progression. So anyone who takes birth or incarnates, they have to progress further. It never digresses. It always progresses. So if suppose in this lifetime you are given a moment or situation where you did not learn that lesson, there will be another same kind of lesson but with someone else in the same lifetime. Still, you are not learning. Then up till the time you are going to die, till that time, like in this physical world, we say the word death and die, right? So till this time, if you are not learning, again in the next incarnation, you have to learn the lesson, you have to pass the test, and then you are going to progress. So this testing continues for every soul lesson, every lesson, until
Right.
unless you are totally like pakka, totally passed in the test. This goes on for everyone, everyone.
Right.
Thank you. And the learning is to learn to have like non-judgmental nature and
Yes,
learn to have patience. So
yes,
deal with everything with a smile as if this is your own, it's like you're growing your own
yes.
business
Like
kind of
love and
thing.
compassion are the two qualities, regardless of what the situation is. Love and compassion are the qualities we need to have
Love,
for.
compassion, peace, and harmony. These are four things that we all need to have to understand. Like yesterday when we were talking, it was about joyful, happiness, all those things. But the soul's basic nature is to be happy and to be loving. That's it. And this is what once we start understanding, the fear, anger, resentment, judgment are the lower vibrations, where we are learning now how to remove those emotions every day through inner work. And where to reach? Unconditional love state. For people in our lives, we have to share this unconditional love with each and everyone. So now when we see, not only you, me, or anyone else, we see that in our lives there are a lot of equations who we don't like, or we hate, or we judge, we criticize, we don't want to live with them. Now the point is, just imagine, after learning this, aren't we becoming more compassionate? Now what is the lesson? That we have to forgive them, we have to be compassionate towards them, because it's their soul journey as well. They are not there yet, but we are there. We now have learned. So what we have to do? We have to forgive, we have to give them unconditional love, which is very difficult, but still we have to.
I was trying to teach it to myself while doing it. Just one last question, a quick one. So, what is the message we get from near dear ones who leave this body early in your life, like young people dying? You have very close connection with them. So, what is your learning? What is the purpose of seeing that in your lifetime?
I'll have Madhuji answer that.
For people who died already, you are saying young people who died and went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
See,
close near dear ones, they
yeah,
die. Like,
maybe
yeah.
their karma was balanced. Okay, what they have come here for, that was balanced, and now they have to learn another lesson, because the soul has to learn many different lessons to get to that state, and then they reach where they need to reach. So they have to end that life because their soul requirement is someplace else. The learning, or maybe they are required to teach someone else something else, some other lesson. So this is just because of that. Nothing.
And what will be your learning? The one who's viewing it, like one
Being
who's
compassionate,
dealing with the pain.
understanding that you are a soul, you are not a human body. Always, because when we have the spiritual knowledge or wisdom, we all have to understand that we all are souls living a human experience. We all are spiritual beings living a human experience. That is how you can state that. And then when you are in that state, you will understand that you are not the body, you are the soul. So soul never
Soul is
dies.
eternal.
Soul
Yes.
never dies. The human body is that which dies. We just incarnate to fulfill our lessons and to learn certain things, or to make other people learn something. And like, for, as they said, for light workers also, they came on earth. For everyone, when they are totally learned with the spiritual experience, they come on earth to be a light worker, to teach others as well. So it is not easy, but uh, like, you can't say that, my life is better than yours, or your life is better than mine. We are on the same level. It's just I am doing something where I'm giving service to mankind. But on other terms, I would say that after some time, maybe you might also come into the same thing, because you have learned that lesson. You are in that oneness state, harmony, peace with your own self. You have become one with everything. So now, when you see anything around you, it would be like, this is a part of me. Rani ji is a part of me. My husband is a part of me. Chandni ji is a part of me. Everyone who is here is a part of me. What eyes I should look out with? It should be eyes of love, like filled with love, and then um loving everyone unconditionally. For people who are here, like any situation that arises, like today also I was talking to Chandni ji. So I had another question after I spoke to Chandni ji. What the situation is telling me? Why certain people are creating certain kinds of nuisance or problems or challenges for me? Because maybe I just need to forgive them, and there's something else also to learn, or maybe yes, because see, I'm here with my psychic abilities. So my intuition has already told me so many things, and that is what I'm applying. So this is how, everyone progresses. So
Thank you.
So, hi, this is Nirja.
yeah, hi Nirja ji. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, so thank you for a beautiful session, both of you. I just had one comment and one question. The comment was, I just finished reading Dina Mariam's book on Rukmini, The Turn of Times. And the question that the uh, speaker asked earlier about the short lifespan, there's a nice explanation for about why Abhimanyu came to the earth only for 16 days, 16 years. So if anybody wants to read, it's a nice little explanation there.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. My question was like, this all makes sense. And I think coming into this type of spirituality, I've been trying to do meditation for a long time, but this whole principle of soul plan, got a lot from many lives and many masters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. But I sometimes I struggle with abusive relationships. And do you think that the person who is like suffering, they ask for it? That kind of a challenge in their life?
In this book, as you're going to move on, there is a chapter on abusive relationships.
Yeah.
You
I
will
read
get
this
an
book.
answer there. 100%. There's a
Yeah.
huge chapter on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Only one thing that I would like to share here is
Yeah.
that yesterday also we were having a talk. Maybe you were not there, Neerja ji,
Uh,
but Gitanjali ji had asked certain questions about, see, suppose what happens, some people take advantage of you. Some
yeah.
people,
I was
right?
there.
You were
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I dropped off a little at the end in the meditation.
Yeah,
But
and another thing is when people are abusive with you, basically just imagine this is just a part of what you are experiencing. You might have given the same kind of treatment, but
yeah.
much more quantity, quality, maybe
Yeah.
80% more than what you are receiving today. You are
We
just
just don't
having
remember.
20% of experience. Yeah. So
Yeah.
80% of what you have already done, and now you are just experiencing how it feels when somebody abuses you or somebody physically abuses you or mentally abuses you or harasses you, say bad
Yeah.
words, all those things. So now it is not good. But the thing is, sometimes we just need to forgive them also, because
Yeah.
they also are doing their karma. By forgiving them, you are becoming compassionate.
Yeah.
Yes, not that is a like a heinous crime when you are murdering someone. Sirish ji has mentioned here in the chat. Um, for people who see, please do go and see the playlist of 21-day program. There we have covered the soul journey, like basically the soul levels. So where every soul has to take birth in the form of an infant soul, then baby soul, then young soul, adult soul, mature soul, then old soul, nirvanic soul, diamond soul, and then nirvanic soul. So what happens is every soul has to take birth in the infant soul level, then baby soul level, young soul level, and so on, so and so. But these 7 soul levels has to go through, like for a person who has taken birth in the infant soul level, he has to, he or she has to take birth how many times? 7 more times in that infant soul level. So infant soul level first, second will be infant soul level baby soul, third will be infant soul level young
Adult.
soul, then infant soul level adult soul, same way. So
Yeah.
everyone has to take birth, and that means we must have taken, now because of this understanding, now where we are here, we are how to say, we are wisdomful now, we have become wisdomful because we have understood this. Why we are able to understand it? Because we have already taken how many births? 350 to 400 lifetimes. We have already taken birth. That is why we are here now in the spiritual learning class, and that is how we understand. So it is not easy, but we will get there. So one by one, when we have these questions, when we answer everything, we all will come to an understanding that every soul has to come and understand that we are loving people, loving souls, and that is the true basic nature of souls, where we all have to reach. People think that, oh, love is nothing. No, but this is like the utmost higher vibration, higher frequency, and this is where we all have to reach. Showing love to everyone, giving love to everyone, not showing, but actually giving it
You
unconditionally.
had a nice chart in one of your sessions.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
was
I
like
did
a
that.
tree kind of thing.
Yes, yes. 21. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying that do that 21-day programs, the soul level one. It is very good. Otherwise, I have done it in the 41-day program also, thoroughly explained in one of the soul level class. Soul perceptions, I think the theme would be topic. So Neerja ji, it's just sometimes when we just accept that this is what I have incurred as karma, when I accept it, then most of the challenges removed.
Yeah.
Many people who have trailed that same path, like yesterday when we read, we create that, we have that energetic pathway for us. Other masters help us get out of that.
Mhm.
Can I ask you something, Madhuji? So
Yeah, sure.
does the soul have to stand for themselves too when they are
Yes,
being
yes. And
abused?
yes, yesterday I have
Yeah.
answered the same question, that don't be submissive. Once you are actually incurring that problem, once, twice, thrice, you have already gone through the same situation. But what are you going to do? Then third, fourth time, you have to let them know that you are not ready to take that anymore. You are going to stand up for yourself. And
Right.
you have to, but yeah, there also comes, some people are very violent. They start hitting, abusing, many other things happen. So you have to be very careful. See, if I say that you have a tiger in front of you, so because you are a meditator, some people, they do think like that, that I should not be violent, so I would not run, or I will just stand straight there. No, when you have to save your life, you have to save your life. So
Right.
there's no adrenaline or any kind of rush. You have to go and take care of yourself. You can't just say, okay, come snake, bite me. You can't do that.
Right.
Okay, so that is where we have to save ourselves. You have to see the situation, what it is. Can you be saved? If you can say those words and say that I'm not ready to take this anymore, either you try to improve yourself, or this is how it is going to be. If that is okay for you and comfortable for you to say and live with that, then good. If not, if that person is violent, then definitely save yourself, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, I think here, could you please share the background music used in meditation?
I just did.
Oh, okay. The books I read were Untold Story of Sita, One is the Turning of Time, and both books by yes, very, very good books. And there will be a lot of stories in this Your Soul's Plans also, Master. So do read it. Many Masters, Many Lives. Yes, we have done this Swadhyaya in the Light and Soul Meditation Hindi group already. So you can have the playlist there. You can see that playlist, It is also good. Gitanjali ji has the question.
Yeah, I was just listening, Chandni ma'am, about the two sisters. I have something to relate from my own life. I had a brother. I don't know about him, where he is, whether he's gone or not, but he had created a lot of problem for my parents. And I'm wondering now why you said that the brother had come with a soul plan that he is going to teach his sisters. But here, my father is a very highly spiritual, he was a spiritual man. I don't know why he lost all his money and then he created a lot of problems to all of us, where we started hating him. And finally, but only persons who kind of, because it was their child, my father and mother always looked at him in a different angle, though
Right.
we brothers and sisters would not kind of accept. But later on in life, I wonder why he kind of created so much problem for my father, in spite of him being a spiritual man. He had to learn that. But later on, my brother became more spiritual. He
Mm.
became very spiritual. So I'm kind of confused when you told me this, when you said this today. I'm just thinking, what is the answer? What can I kind of conclude on that?
No, beautiful question. So there are many scenarios why a soul takes incarnation, right? So one could be to balance out karmas, right? Second, to teach you lessons. Third, to give you experiences, right? So many reasons. So when you are telling your brother's situation, right? I have a really, really good story that I heard in PSSM. It's a short story, so I'm going to share here. It's exactly what your situation is. So this is a real story that happened. Is there were two brothers, and the older brother did not get married because both brothers did not have parents. So the older brother took care of the younger brother, sent him to good college, good university, good degree. He got a good job. They both started business together. The older brother did not even get married. He was that dedicated to the younger brother. And after they both started the business together, the younger brother got married, had his own family, and because he had a degree, he had more knowledge in the business than the older brother. And he was contributing much more to the business success compared to the older brother. But they were both getting 50-50 in terms of profit. So one day, after many years, 5-6 years of successful business, the younger brother, he's like, I'm doing all the work. I'm using my brains, my degree, my intelligence for the success of this business. Why is he getting 50%? And he got super angry and upset at the situation, but he couldn't say anything to the brother. But what this is super cruel, like rarely anybody would do it. But the younger brother asked somebody who would do that level of thing to kill his older brother. And that's what that person did. And the older brother died. This was one incarnation. This happened in the previous incarnation. But in the current incarnation, there was a couple, husband and a wife, and they both were not able to conceive. They didn't have any kids. And they were the most helpful, richest family, very helpful to the entire village, very compassionate, caring, humble, everything, all the great qualities a couple had. They prayed to the God for many years. After 10 years, they had a son. That son was born with birth defects. And birth defects was one thing. So because of the health issues, the couple lost their interest in life because their life was filled with challenges with the son. And then that son, they went to many different doctors and they even had to like sell many of their properties to take care of the medical bills for this son. And then one last resort for the solution of his health issue was this one doctor came up to the couple and they are like, there is this one surgery. There is a possibility that he might get better, but there is also a possibility that he might lose his life. There's a 50-50 chance. What do you want to do? But being parents, they're like, we want to even take 50% chance. So they had to sell everything, including their house, for this surgery. The surgeon did the surgery. Next day, the son died. So they lost the son, they lost the peace of mind, they lost all the money. The reason was the previous incarnation, those two souls had the kind of balance, karmic balance. So the son came into their life to neutralize that balance. So the older brother who was killed in the past life, he took birth into this younger brother who was a couple, the younger brother's life as a son. And that's how they neutralized the karmas. So there are many reasons why people face challenges in their life, challenging situations, relationships. There is always a lesson. We just need to keep our eyes open to see somebody in a soul level. So I'm
So that
thinking
means,
it could be the karmic balance, is what I'm guessing.
oh, okay.
One thing I
So,
also feel was that maybe your father, by the time he lost his money and all those things, maybe he learned his lesson. He learned his lesson that time, maybe. And that is why when he learned his lesson, your brother became spiritual.
Yeah, very possible.
okay. Okay. Makes a lot of, yeah, there is some kind of a clarity there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
otherwise this journey would have continued with your brother. He would not become spiritual. He would be
Yeah.
just doing the same thing. Because your father understood, he left all those, whatever he used to say, do. And see, there's also this thing of Lakshmi. When
Mm.
you have a financial stability, it's good. But sometimes when we have a lot of ego with this Lakshmi, basically the money, there are three kinds of things that happen in a person's life. Lakshmi, Parvati, and Saraswati. They are always there with us. It depends on what time Saraswati comes, what time Lakshmi comes, and what time Parvati comes. For you, your father, and your brother, you all had Parvati every time. Everyone has, right? Everyone. But it depends on us when we are going to do the tap sadhana. So then, when we do tap sadhana, meditation, and anything, we are with Parvati. When we are having lot of financial independence, stability, and good things happening with money, that is a time when Lakshmi ji is also there, when happiness is there, we are in total good service. But with Lakshmi also comes when you have ego. You start having lot of money also, and you have ego also. Then what do? Sometimes we actually go through a lot of, we start wasting money on different, many bad things as well. So then Lakshmi becomes rushed. That how could you waste me on such things? So then Lakshmi ji goes away. That is also something happened. So I don't know what have gone wrong, but due to these certain negative attributes, that is why also something might have happened where Lakshmi went from your family or something. Maybe because lot of anger, argument, something. And then third, Saraswati. Saraswati is also there. So at what time Saraswati enters your life? Wisdom in the form of art, music, any kind of learning. It can be dance, it can be yoga, it can be learning science or anything. Not only science, but any subject. So Saraswati is there, Lakshmi is there, and Parvati is there. But it can come one after another. So you need to understand what is it that I need to, if there's some kind of learning, certain kind of things will come again and again into your life. And then you will understand, okay, so maybe like as you said, your father had a lot of money also, everything, it went away. Just because maybe there was a lot of arguments in the family, something, a lot of things.
No, very ordinary, Madhuji.
Oh,
We were not very rich as such. My father was
okay.
he was an employee, and then he had saved his money and
Yeah.
things like that.
No, that's
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, not only Lakshmi is not like you have to be like wealthiest person of the world or
yeah.
something. It can be like the Lakshmi is there with everyone. Everyone has Lakshmi.
Everybody,
Yeah.
yes.
So it can be little or more, but depending on if you feel that, uh, emptiness, or you feel that lack of money, wealth or something, then that definitely there's this lack. Because why? Because the gods, presence is
Mm,
there. It's there, but they are not working with you anymore in that way, right? But Saraswati Parvati is there still.
okay.
And the parents' unconditional love is what I'm thinking. You said that the parents, they always cared for him, even though whatever situation happened.
Yeah, they never
So I
gave up
think,
on him. Yes.
yeah, so their unconditional love towards him must have brought him into spirituality, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because he was later on, I don't know. I've just heard my mother telling me, because we all never spoke to him.
Mhm.
She later told me that he started having visions, and he used to sit in one place, meditate, and he would invoke all the god and goddesses and all that would come to him and things like that. That's
Mhm.
what my
Yeah.
mother told him,
Yeah.
told me.
So that's what,
Yeah.
like how Chandni said, that some people are already highly evolved souls, like the story of that psychic who actually did the soul scanning. So they are already much evolved. But
Uh,
sometimes what happens is that we are not ready to let go of our ego, and we don't understand how the other person is. In our own family, the younger one can be very highly evolved, but who are older, maybe they don't understand and they don't want to understand. So that also is one of the thing, that however or how much ever you do, it always feels less to the see, we all have been born and brought up in a very Indian family, Desi families, Orthodox families. So some people, they really don't want to understand all such things, especially parents, or the grandparents. But then as the time progressed, we all are changing at a very faster rate. So your brother, that's what I'm saying, that your father must have learned something already, and
mm,
then that is why there was a change. Otherwise, this would have continued.
mm. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. And to Sirish ji's question, I would say that, many masters who were gurus, and or other masters, they all have taught us so many things. We have read so many mythology, so many stories. Maybe they were actual, and yes, they were actual, but we have learned so much from the mythology story, right? So, yes, many times the gods can influence our soul plan as well, because these gods are in the form of elementals, the nature spirits, the nature gods. And these gods are also there helping us at every level. So when our body is made, when you read Thinking and Destiny, this book, Thinking and Destiny, which is written by Harold Baldwin Percival, we are actually doing the Swadhyaya of this book also. There we read that every organ in your body, every part in your body, when we take birth, at that time, even our breath, our lungs, our heart, our like every part has been made by the elementals, the gods, the spirits, everything. So yes, they have the right at particular times in our lives, uh, be it the young age, the teenage, the adult, or the old mature age. uh, they have the right to influence, because that portal opens up. If that karma you haven't balanced, that thing will open, so that through this there is a teaching that is involved. Simple as that. So everything is interconnected. But yes, light is there, which is working through us in the form of lower light to the higher light, supreme intelligence, everything. So uh, Thinking and Destiny, if you want the PDF, I'll share you in the book, in the group. I'll share in the group, masters. Thank you so much, everyone. Anybody else would like to? Or we are good, I think. But thank you so much, Chandni ji. It was really wonderful of you having coming here and going through the books
No,
pages.
glad I could help. Glad I could help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Good night. Bye.
Chandni ji, thank you. And
Yeah, thank you so
you.
much. It was good.
Good night and good morning for us.
Oh, yeah.
Good night. Thank you.
Good
We'll be
night, good
Thank
morning,
you.
good afternoon
So
to wherever
masters,
you are.
yeah, tomorrow we won't be having any the soul plan, your soul's plan class, but we'll be having a
Okay.
general meditation. Maybe I would see if Avni ma'am is coming or not, but let me see. You will get to know
Okay.
through the flyer. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gratitude,
Thank you.
I
gratitude.
just had one question on the book page numbers. I'll send you a separate, because yep, the page numbers that you posted in the group was not matching up with which if I take up. So I'll send you a note there.
Okay, sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Good
Bye.
morning.
Good
Good
night.
day.
Good night. Thank you.